and it's important that we focus on it, especially now, because I have to tell you, Ed, I really struggle with the Western over consumerism. I think that our planet is in the shape that it is right now because, we got to the point where we think we need so many things where in reality we don't.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah.
But I think sustainability is a main driving factor for companies for the future as well, and future of supply chain. If you can build in resilience to, let's say, if you recycle packaging, you don't need to buy as much. You're not going to be as impacted by any disruptions in the market. Same thing even with energy sources. If you're on electricity grid and the grid goes down, you're reliant on it to come back. But if you have your own renewable energy source, you're free to continue your business. And I think those are some things important to consider, I think, for future of all companies.
Yeah, I bet that translates into sort of your attitude towards work. I see you having a pretty calm demeanor and not getting really too upset about, oh, the supplier was late this one time, we got to go destroy the supplier. You translate that in terms of how you convey expectations to people at work. Yeah, that's awesome. Were you there? Were you there when the I guess that was 1989 when the Iron Curtain fell, the Berlin Wall fell?
Yes, we left not too long after that.
Wow. Yeah, that was awesome. I was living in Japan at the time and just being just stunned at that development. That was amazing.
There was part of me that really didn't believe it was happening because there was really a time in Poland where there was not a lot of optimism for the future. Once the wall came down, I think it rejuvenated the spirit to drive the change.
Yeah, definitely. Poland now seems like a pretty dynamic country with a lot going on. I mean, that's a massive turnaround.
Yes, absolutely.
So you've lived and worked in several countries, proficient in 6 languages. How has that experiences, other than what we've talked about, kind of shaped how you think about leadership and operations?
Well, I think it is important to be able to adapt to different cultures in terms of mannerism, communication, because it does make a difference with people. I mean, especially if you have a global team, if you give the same direction to each of your members, they all may interpret it differently based on like their own culture and how they communicate. I think with language, sometimes I found it helps to build relationships with people. Because I think there is something to be said to be able to have a conversation with someone in their native language where they're not struggling for words or phrases to express in English. There's that comfort zone. And I think it helped me build relationships with colleagues, but also with suppliers to connect with them a little bit differently outside of the business in a sense. So I've always found that I found that helpful.
Yeah, I could see that would be invaluable, definitely, particularly when you're working, with a company that's has a supply base that's international. So, last question: what do you do outside of work to bring yourself joy or to stop thinking about work? Or you jog or sports or theater or
Yeah, I'm very much an outdoor person, so whatever I can do outside, I enjoy it. If it's just walking or hiking or even swimming at the pool in the summer,